and they never wear their pistol holsters and their webbing for their ammo. These guys all had their stuff on. And I looked, and there was no one else on the bus, just these 3 tour buses with smoked glass. And I saw them in the morning, on Friday morning, headed east on Interstate 70. Well, yesterday afternoon at 4 o'clock, they were coming back into Pennsylvania. The troops, I asked the bus driver, I said, "Where's your troops?" He goes, "They're on the bus." I said, "Well, how come they're not getting off?" And I said, "And I want to ask you a question. Why did they have all their holsters on?" And he said, "I don't know. I picked them up, and they had them on." I said, "They never travel like that." He goes, "Well, right now," he goes, "they have their guns in their holsters, and they're on the bus, and they have their M16s, too." He goes,
wow.
"Go look."
And now this was where?
This is on the Interstate 70, and yesterday they were coming back into Pennsylvania. They had just crossed the
We got to go.
line.
We got to go to the break. Thank you very much for the heads up. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Stay tuned. Okay, we're going to get back to the callers right now. Let's see. Jim and PA, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, you said that there was on I-70 coming into the state. Which end of the state are you talking about?
Earlier on Friday morning, they were headed out of Pennsylvania. They were coming into Pennsylvania and headed
which
south
direction?
towards Maryland.
Okay, south toward Maryland.
Then, yesterday afternoon, Sunday at 4 o'clock, here they come back into Pennsylvania at a facility we have just over the line. Now,
what is the facility there?
Pardon?
What facility are you talking about?
It's just a tourism facility.
Oh, you saw them stop there. Okay. And the news actually said, which news station, do you remember which said that there were vaccines being transferred?
No, that wasn't me. But that's just the crazy feeling I got, that they did not have guns when I saw them.
Oh, the guns. Okay, I'm sorry.
But that yesterday afternoon, the bus driver said they are in the bus. They're not getting off the bus because they always get off the bus. And they did not get off the bus, and he said they have their guns in their holsters and their M16s.
Ooh, that's scary. Hey, thank you very much, Jim, for that phone call, I think. Man, I don't understand what's going on. However, at the top of the hour, the CNN InfoBabe, Medical InfoBabe, said, will there be a vaccine and how soon? There you go. You got it now. If they ask the question, remember, if they ask the question, you know the answer. Let's go to John in Canada. John, thank you for calling the Power Hour. What are you seeing in Canada today?
Good morning, Joyce and Bob. It looks like the flu is waning down, but that's not why I'm calling. I'm calling for money. I have the book, The Creature of Jekyll Island, and I have the DVD, Money Masters. I'm quite well informed about the Federal Reserve, 1913, a calamity. And I keep wondering, I'm a Dutchman. I immigrated to Canada in 1954. I lived through the Second World War. I'm close to 80, and what worries me the most is the forced vaccination coming on and so forth. Now, my big question is this. Why isn't it that the American people stand up and demand a return to a normal Federal Reserve owned by America, print your own money, get your country going back up again, stop all this crazy stuff, chemtrails and vaccination junk and all the rest of it?
Okay,
Why is
good
that?
question. John in Canada, good question. Bob Chapman, I'm going to let you answer that. Why won't Americans stand up?
I think it's because they just have not collectively reached a point where they're very, very concerned. There is pockets, we'll call them that, of concern throughout the nation, and the answer to their questions is being given to them when people like yourself call in, and because Joyce has, along with Dave, this program, and there's other programs like that. And I think it's an educational process. I hope we have enough time to do it. I think we're going to have enough time to do it. And the reason why is these people in power behind the scenes continue to extend the timeline, and as long as they do that, we get a good shot at it.
Okay, Bob, stay right there. InternationalForecaster.com. The phone number, 877-479-8178 to get a copy of the International Forecaster. We'll be back in 1 minute, 10 seconds.
There are many people asking why. There are many
This is Joyce Riley and Davon Tice. He's not here this week. However, we are. We got lots of good information. Had to go grab my SEAC tea. For those of you who have gotten your SEAC tea, I hope you're enjoying it 2 or 3 times a day. It is very good tasting. At least mine is. And the way that I've finally decided to make it, if you want information, you can call 877-817-9829. I can't tell you that it cures cancer, although it was determined by Dr. Bausch back in 1970, who also happened to be the president's physician. That was President John F. Kennedy. He began the study on SEAC tea for cancer patients. But, of course, I can't tell you that it does cure cancer, but Dr. Bausch did back in the 1970s. Let me go to our next caller, which is Stan in Missouri. Stan, you're on the air with Bob Chapman, the International Forecaster newsletter. Go ahead, please, Stan.
I've got some information for you, Joyce. It's coming from the Lake of the Ozarks area, and this comes from the Missouri Home Health Care Department. They are gearing up for a pandemic in your area, and they're advising people to store 2 weeks' supply of water and food during a pandemic. If you cannot get to a store where stores are out of supplies, it will be important for you to have extra supplies on hand. And they want everybody to have prescription drugs to ensure a continued supply in your home. Have non-prescription drugs and other health supplies on hand, including pain relievers, stomach remedies, cough and cold medicines, fluids, electrolytes, and vitamins. You need to talk with your family members and loved ones about how they would be cared for if they are got sick or what will be needed to care for them in your home. And they're also suggesting that people volunteer with local groups to prepare and assist for emergency response and get involved in your community as it works to prepare for an emphysema pandemic, Joyce.
Okay, I appreciate that. What is the source on that?
This comes from the Missouri Home Health Care, Lake of the Ozarks in your area, Joyce.
Okay, I'll give them a call after the program. Thank you so very much, Stan. I can always depend on Stan for my local information. Missouri Home Health Care, Lake of the Ozarks. That's only about 30 miles from here. Yeah, Lake of the Ozarks is a real resort area. We're in the cheap seats to the Lake of the Ozarks. Well, Bob, a lot of this has just been on influenza and pandemic stuff, but do you want to say anything where you think we are on this mess right now?
Well, it looks like they're gearing up, obviously. There's obviously material available for vaccinations, which we previously did not know existed, because we've been told it would take 4 to 6 months for this vaccine to be available. And it obviously that's not true. Again, it has had no effect on the marketplace.
The stock market's up today. Did you see that?
It's up 155, and it just flies in the face of reality, but it'll run out of steam eventually and start coming down. The important thing to hard money people is that gold and silver are both up strongly today. Again, I don't know what the reason for that is. Monday is usually a bad day for gold and silver and a good day for the market. But that's not true today, obviously. Well, the day's not over yet either. Mm-hmm. But anyway, continue to put in your defensive posture, the food, the filters, the methods of defending your home and your family.
And by the way, what are you going to be focusing on in your newsletter in case people want to get and I hope they do, the International Forecaster newsletter? What are you following in there today?
Well, I think one of the top topics of the day is what we've been talking about, the dimensions of flu. And we've got a lot of information there, mostly in links from other experts. We've got things that have been said by other people in the broadcast industry. Another thing that's been paramount as well is the Chrysler takeover in bankruptcy. And what it boils down to is this: they wouldn't have been in bankruptcy if the unregulated offshore hedge funds hadn't pushed them there because they wanted more money. They were offered $2.5 billion. That wasn't enough. Secondly,
okay, we got to go. Unfortunately, we're out of time. It's been so good today to have you here. Thank you so much, Bob Chapman. Get the International Forecaster newsletter, 877-479-8178. Back in 3 minutes. You don't want to miss